Jeff Shipman, zoning inspector, and Todd Bosley is here, our fiscal officer. We appreciate him coming out tonight as well. We'll get right into the meeting. First up is fire. Rich?
I have a resolution to accept the quote from RT Hampton Plumbing and Heating of Massillon, Ohio, in the amount of $6,944 to install an Armstrong 95% efficient 110,000 BTU furnace and a 4-ton Armstrong AC compressor unit, fire station number 2. That unit is from 1990 when they did the addition here. So
Oh, wow.
we got our
Got
life
Got our
out.
life ahead.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion to second. Voting?
Jennifer?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Don? Yes.
All right, thank you. On the road, Jamie?
Number one, a resolution to approve the June 24th, 2021 road report.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion to second. Voting?
Jennifer?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Don? Yes.
Okay, on to zoning.
I'd like to get the board to pass resolution 1, approve the June 24th, 2021 zoning report.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to second. Voting?
Jennifer?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
And 2, approve appropriate funding back into a purchase order 87 for our 2021 office supplies. We had a resolution before, and when I checked on it, we had nothing in them. We'd only spent like $70, so I'd just like to get it back up because a new person would like to buy some supplies for us down there.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to second. Voting?
Jennifer?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
And then 3, we had a discussion, a lease option in the amount of $169 for a Kyocera Task Alpha 2553 CI copy print scan from Graphics Enterprise Office Solutions, and that would include delivery, installation, setup, and training. I gave you this.
Yes.
Okay, that came in, we had a major discussion with him down there at the office, and, he actually, if you turn it over, we wanna consolidate what we have down there, one with 2 letters, the other one doesn't. And then sometimes they're very picky about when they work
Yeah.
properly. So if you look at the second page there, he's actually, we got him down, $100, I guess, a report on the machine, if you look at 169, for the machine that we want now. But, yeah, we were looking at this, I just wanted to bring this up to you, not making a resolution tonight, cause you know, we wanna still look it up. But Graphics is one of the major companies around here for this. If we went and bought it somewhere else, or at least somewhere else, they're gonna send Graphics maybe to us.
Right.
We just have to figure out the leases, cause it's a little confusing.
63 months is 5. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's like 10 grand if you add it up. So, I guess we have leases. Todd, can you help us on this with the copy? You remember the copy co?
The long term,
Yeah, so allegedly we have 4 machines that we're paying for, that the lease renews every year. Instead of paying it off or getting it for fair market value, it just rolls over and keeps going. So we're supposed to turn those machines in and get new ones, but we have to make sure when we do this, that the lease and the equipment go with it. So we don't have a new lease plus the other lease.
Yeah.
So it's confusing because one company bought another company, so I don't know which machines we actually are leasing. Jeff thinks it's 2 machines and not 4 machines, but they have 3 machines.
Yes.
So we're trying to, I
Yeah.
didn't wanna pass the resolution because I don't wanna get another lease and then still have that not sorted
It's
out.
like a cable box. You got the cable box, but it's not up to date. It's 3-year-old cable box, and you're still paying full price for cable. That
Yeah,
You could be
but
doing way more.
traditionally a lease, you would own it
Yeah.
or buy it out at the end, and they said that it just rolls over, which I don't know who set that up, it's just this.
Yeah, somebody said that was a government way though.
I know, but why would you keep rolling?
I don't know, but on leases, Graphics, Joe said he would try to consolidate them, but I don't know.
I just wanna be
That's
clear that
paperwork.
they say they're gonna do it and then be like, oh, wow, we didn't know about.
Yeah.
We've gotta do our own legwork and figure it out.
Well, they're gonna sell the leases, that's gonna be automatic,
Right.
so.
Well, I wanna terminate the old leases. and turn it
Joe said he
into-
can see what he could do, so we'll
Yep.
call him a little bit more and talk. to
Yeah,
him.
we gotta,
We'll
iron
see
it
what's
out.
going on.
but it's a good machine, that would be perfect.
So are you gonna lead that charge with these other leases?
Jeff
and other machines?
and I and Caroline
Yeah.
Oh, Caroline.
are trying to
yeah.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
we're really searching this stuff out.
Okay, dig into it a little
And then
bit.
we have to take care of your machines too.
Yeah, that's why I know if, fire
If you guys wanna
department-
do your own thing,
You
that's
might
fine
just
too.
do them all at once. You have
Yeah.
have more buying power that way too.
Yeah, we already dropped the price on it just from, talking we were broke.
Never mind, they don't read the paper.
Okay, good deal, I'm glad you brought that to us. Go on to number 4 there.
Number 4, I'd like a resolution to appropriate $200 in the form of a check assigned to the treasurer, state of Ohio. The mailing address is, Ohio EPA, P.O. Box 7705, Cleveland, Ohio, for a new discharge. It's the stormwater discharge fees, that we pay, for 2021. That's coming out, we gotta write a new, report, which is due at the end of this month.
Okay,
Plus, I need a $200 check sent to these people for the bill.
along with the report, probably.
Yeah, and then I have a contact here, like for, fiscal. I put the, this Jason. He sent me an email, and he gave that to me, but we have a past due stormwater drainage fee that we need to get paid
Okay,
ASAP. We are getting feed and fine on that.
you can check into that, Todd, in your office.
Yeah, we did check into it, we actually sent it over, and there was some report that wasn't filed, that's why the fee
Okay.
wasn't paid.
Okay,
So they actually needed the report filed before we could pay the fee.
okay.
So I don't know if that's been filed or not, but we'll be happy to pay it.
Will you check into that, Jeff, as far as the past report? If there's, will we have to make up that past report, do you think?
This is, already,
Yeah, we're current.
this is like 2020 or something like that. It wasn't paid.
Okay,
And, this, individual, Jason, called me and said, hey, you guys didn't pay the bill down there for this, this year. And everything is go, we just need to send that and get it
okay,
done.
okay,
Alright, there's nothing, no paperwork or anything, just send a check to them so we're done.
okay. But you're you're doing the report, and then Todd's doing the work.
Yes, you just gotta pay the bills, we're almost done with the report.
Okay, good.
Alright.
Well, I just have a question real quick then, are we paying 200 or are we paying 400?
Yeah, that's what I'm kinda wondering too. Should we just,
200, what do you mean? No, the other bill was sent up by email to Kelly, she knows what the cost is,
okay.
okay?
How recent was that email?
I sent that in, 1st of May.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I had that in my email, I was able to bring that up to show that I did send that
okay,
up to him, so.
alright.
And then, we got a resolution here, the issue of blanket
Oh, wait,
certificate.
we gotta vote on this first
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Issue number 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second voting?
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
And then we got resolution 5, issue of blanket certificate for nuisance violations under ORC section 50587. These are the, lots, that we have to, take a look at, and, some of them, I'm gonna take one more spin around just to make sure we did not receive anything back from our letters.
Okay,
Okay, so there's 3 of them on there, and, this is what, one of our mowing companies had said that they would, do this for. We have, one on Reno and Hebron and, Glen Oak especially, and, that's a full cleanup. That one has been bad for a while,
Yeah.
it looks really bad in that area. And then we got, Columbus, that was supposed to be purchased and be sold, and I'm still waiting on that to go down. And then Broadview, we have a house over there that we think, somebody just left.
okay.
Alright, so, yeah, I'd like to get a resolution passed just to have that, be able to continue on with the abatements of those.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second voting?
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Okay. On to the fiscal officer, Todd?
Okay, the first is an amendment to the agenda, it's the 2 million tax, or 2 mil tax levy renewal resolution that you all have a copy of.
Yeah, a resolution declaring it necessary to renew an existing 2.0 mil tax levy for the purpose of providing and maintaining fire apparatus, mechanical, resuscitators, underwater rescue and recovery equipment, and other fire equipment and appliances, building and sites therefore, or sources of water supply and materials therefore, for the establishment and maintenance of lines of fire alarm communications, for the payment of firefighting companies where permanent, part-time, or volunteer firefighting, emergency medical service, administrative, or communications personnel to operate the same, including the payment of any employer contributions required for such personnel under section 145.48 or 742.34 of the revised code for the purpose of ambulance, paramedic, or other emergency medical services operated by a fire department or firefighting company, or the payment of other related costs, and requesting the county auditors to certify the total current valuation of Nimishillen Township and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated by that renewal levy. as submitted here on June 24th, 2021.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion to second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Just for clarity, George, you made the motion, Jennifer, you would've had to second it, cause you were reading it.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, cause I have to put this all down properly,
Yeah.
so
So I made the
George.
motion,
Yeah,
second by Jennifer.
okay.
A motion and a second voting. We'll vote again just to be better.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, then, we'll move on to number one, approve a refund payment to Kelly Sealing for the purchase of an adapter for the UAN computer from Staples in the amount of $31.94.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number two, approve bond renewal for Mary Ellen Gooding in the amount of $501.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number three, approve bond renewal for Jeff Shipman in the amount of $250.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number four, approve refund to George Kiko for title paperwork first-class postal mailing that he paid in the amount of $20.67.
Motion to approve?
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number five, approve payment to Assured Partners for one of two semi-annual installment payments for business insurance renewal in the amount of $19,166.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number six, approve minutes for the May 27th, 2021 meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Number seven, approve minutes for the June 10th, 2021 meeting.
Motion to approve?
Motion and second. Oh, you got a
You're
second?
beating me every time. George.
Sorry.
You're
Uh,
quick.
Motion and second voting.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Okay, I have we have credit card policy that, Mr. Jim Matthews, our attorney, provided to us that we're gonna review. Looking to do, credit cards for the different departments. It's getting task oriented for me to go pay postage and then get reimbursed by Todd, and same with, if you have to go buy these things or buy that and this and that, so we need to look to get that set up. We're gonna talk about that later on. But also, did you have anything to add to that?
No, just take a look at it. What I did, you'll see I attached the statute that authorizes it, as well as the key kind of best practices state auditor bulletin
Okay.
attached as well, so you can kind of see how they all relate to one another. And rather than have one of these ridiculous 13, 14-page policies that has a bunch of nonsense, it's your bare bones necessary provisions. It will then require your input, because you'll need to set what your maximum limits are for your credit cards, and you'll also need to set what the maximum expenditure on a single transaction is.
Okay.
That should be specified in your policy.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the number of card holders, correct?
Yeah, in fact, you'll see in there too a chart that you will fill out,
Okay.
which will identify your authorized users, when they have been authorized by your resolution, also the card that they're authorized on and the limit. Those will all be in that chart.
Okay,
Okay.
great, thank
And
you.
then George, if you prefer, what I can do is send Jennifer the Word version, so that once you decide collectively what's appropriate, she could just fill it in,
Yeah.
make it easier for you. Does that work?
That works perfectly.
Very good.
I have one more question. The gentleman from Huntington said that we could also pay bills other than make purchases like fiscal could if they wanted to. Would we include that in the policy, like to be able to let the fiscal have?
The way it's drafted, it's very broad, that
Okay.
any authorized expenditure for goods or services are approved for use by the credit card.
Okay.
So anything that, of course, Todd is approving and would generally pay with a check or a warrant, you can use a credit card for.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
He of course will be an authorized user, and then you probably have some staff people.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'd be nice to have one in your office.
One for fire.
One for fire.
One for
You
road.
guys have one now?
No.
You think you want one?
Staples. You got the Staples, that's.
Well, we have accounts like Staples
Yeah.
and fuel cards, but there's no credit card.
Yeah. Same with you, you guys have accounts with
Yeah,
everything.
Just for gas.
we don't have a credit card, but we have a concept. Staples and.
So we need one for Todd's office, and then one for fire, one for road, and one for zoning,
Mhm.
probably 4.
Yeah.
It's all one card, but, or all
It all
one
goes to the
account.
same account, but what will be nice is when they get the bill, they'll be able to, reconcile it easily because it was fire department, you just have to figure out the fund, to assign it to.
Okay.
So we'll need the receipts off of anything they buy.
Yeah, in fact, that's required by the best practices,
Yep.
so it's incorporated into your policy that anybody using the card will have to turn in a written receipt that provides at least the date that the purchase was made and what was purchased and the amount. And then if there's any accompanying, like a vendor invoice or something that you get, that should be included in the paperwork also.
Okay.
It's just for, obvious paper and tracking purposes that you need that.
Okay.
No, will we need a resolution every time that they use it, or does the credit card policy covers, like, say, if we give, say, Jeff a $500 limit, he's authorized to do that, we don't have to do the resolution?
That's correct.
Okay,
That's meant to be the convenience for you.
okay,
Now, the other thing you will see in here, because the state always throws in little things for you, right?
okay,
So the convenience is stripped away only slightly by the fact that on a monthly basis, you have to have a report of the credit card use. And it's just so it gets to the board's eyes. It's not that you really have to do anything, but you have to at least get that report. And it's probably something you can easily generate. It's probably just a printout, right?
would the
It'll
statement
show the-
suffice?
Yeah, with the statements.
Or the statements, yeah, anything like
Yeah,
that.
just you get the statement, you scan it, email it to us.
I'll probably bring the statement, or it'll be with the checks, and you guys can
Yeah.
all just sign it, that you've
Yeah,
signed.
that you've seen it.
That's it, that's perfect. That's a great idea. And that
She
way,
lays them all out, we just walk in and boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah,
it'll be in the record and then you won't have to worry about it.
okay,
And I expressly put that in your policy because it is a requirement in the statute.
Okay,
And the other thing that's in there is I believe it's every 6 months, you have to then kind of revisit your policy. And it's just meant to be another safeguard.
Yeah.
You can just kind of, it'll take you minutes, that's all.
right,
But you just verify how many accounts you have, how many cards are outstanding, who has the cards and what the limits are.
Yeah.
That way you can, catch up in case somebody has come on board or somebody's left, to make sure you don't have missing cards out there. It's just, again, meant to be a safeguard that the state wants you to have the convenience of the credit card, but they also want the protection built into it
sure,
for your offices as well as for Todd.
great, thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Any other-
One question from Lee?
Yeah, I have one question about, like the cards, when you make a purchase, is the bill gonna be sent straight to the fiscal, or their address?
yeah.
Yeah.
One bill will go
absolutely.
straight, not just our receipt that we're gonna turn in,
Correct,
so they can't say, well, we didn't get that receipt,
Yeah.
we lost it.
right. And then, in
Okay.
fact, it should
Right, that's-
actually dovetail one another. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
the
but-
receipt though, like from a gas station, we wouldn't get,
No.
that's, but you
You'll
would have
get it
to
on
bring
a-
that receipt.
On a register.
We'll get a statement that includes everybody's cards, but
So we have-
everybody that uses it has to bring their own.
Yeah, we'll have to get a receipt.
Yeah.
Buy
Yeah,
some
well-
on the internet, you print it out, send it in,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like you would.
Yeah, but we have it on, our fiscal office is at, Fire Station 3, and our road and zoning are at the main office here on Nickel Plate. So if they have a receipt, if Jamie has a receipt, he could scan that, have the office scan that, send it to Todd, and then keep your receipts for the year is what I would do. You keep your
Right.
receipts, he keeps his receipts, and then Todd will get them all via email. That would be the easiest thing, instead of trying to keep them in your truck and they get faded in the sunlight.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
That's what I'm at.
Yeah.
But can't they just go straight to?
Yeah, you guys are
Fiscal
taking
department, But
you-
can't they go straight to that address where their
The receipts
office
can't,
is?
the
Yes.
statement.
The receipts are what they give you at the register.
Right,
Right,
Yeah.
So that you're gonna take back to the office, give it to Caroline, she's gonna scan it to
Yeah.
Todd's office.
right,
So he can reconcile the statements, but all the statements will come to his office, which is the credit card statements, and he'll kinda check them off and then he'll pay the bill. Does that make sense?
It would be on and off.
It don't, but
it
it
does,
does.
but it don't, because
Yeah.
some things get lost and
Right.
we're like,
But it's just something you guys will have to keep in mind, because when I
Well,
worked for him, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
We had the credit card, they got the statement, but you better have a receipt when you got back in. or
Cause they're
you-
gonna say there's a $508 charge.
Yeah,
Where's your
so
receipt?
just
just
put a
kinda
little
get.
basket and put them in there and
Yeah.
Caroline will
Or,
let them come
or
in.
put it,
I would
like
keep it
Carolyn,
separate, though.
boom, she can scan it, send it to Todd, then she'll have a digital copy of it too. We'll be
Yeah.
covered everywhere.
Perfect.
Is a digital copy okay, or do we need the actual receipt?
Digital copy is perfectly fine. Yep, however you wanna keep it.
That way, it's kinda double protected that way too.
Mhm.
You know, we got a digital and a hard copy.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think the word I used in here, George, is promptly. I didn't put like within 1 day or 24 hours. It's just promptly you're expected to turn in your receipts.
Yeah, end of the week kind of thing, or later in the day.
On the Square account, we're also okay to set that up. We wanna be
No.
able to take zoning permit payments instead of handling cash.
Yeah, you know, that's actually handled by a different section of the revised code.
Okay,
So is that something you already have in place, or do
No.
you wanna do
we
that?
wanna set it up.
Yeah, I have some forms on that too, I can modify for you, so when Diane is who you get the email from, when she sends you this, I'll have her send you also the form for the electronic receipts.
Okay,
Now that will probably be broader than you want, because for instance, if you're only gonna use the Square account, what you can do is just cut out anything you don't want and limit it to that.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you know there are so many methods of payment out there anymore. Some places like to have all of it available, and they also like to have all of their offices available for it.
Right.
But you can pattern it to fit you.
okay.
Does your office, does your township do, credit card? It's just the way of the world anymore, you
We
know?
do credit cards, and we have a credit card policy, and then for zoning and road, we have a credit card,
Okay,
or a receipt mechanism, yeah.
okay.
You have to specify in there what you're gonna do with any fees. You can charge an administrative fee on those transactions, and Todd, you'd have to check on that, I'm not sure if you're gonna have a 2%, 1%, or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can adjust that feature, and then you also have to put in there whether or not you're going to have a penalty provision for anybody that misuses it. You know, some process is transfer, or a transaction takes place, and then it's undone in some fashion, either there were insufficient funds to cover it or something. Well, the way that, of course, the state law works is they don't want you to pay that, they want the person that misused it to pay that. But they also give you the power in the code to actually waive that if you would prefer. Now, most places want that protection. If you get hit with a 10 or 12 or $15 bank fee for some transaction, typically you want reimbursed for it. So you'll see in the draft that there is a reimbursement provision, but you'll also see that you can have that option taken out.
Okay.
And once you take a look at it, questions of course will come up, you can address those to us, and we'll make sure that gets in place for you also.
2% convenience fee if they're
Yeah,
gonna.
that's
or-
Square's the cheapest, they don't have a monthly fee, it's just you get charged when you run the
I
number.
trust you on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about.
I trust you,
3%.
I know that stuff.
What do you do though
Perfect.
when somebody comes in and they say, all right, I don't wanna pay with credit card, I wanna pay cash, I don't wanna pay the 3%. I mean, you still take the cash, I mean, is that the?
I wanna eliminate the cash, because the cash
Yeah.
seems to be the problem, so I would say the Square for all credit, debit accounts, and then if they wanna do a check, they'll have to mail it to the PO box. And when you receive the check, then Jeff can issue the payment.
Okay.
That way, nobody has to run anything, I'm just trying to
You could send,
eliminate.
he could send them the, paperwork, take this home, send them a check, and this is where you mail that with the
Absolutely.
signed.
Yeah, the cash is a problem, getting it.
Yeah.
getting it around.
Eventually, it'd be
To the
nice to just
bank.
have it
It's a little-
online,
It costs a lot.
Till we do that, let's get the Square,
That's
cause
something
you
that
can,
we've
we
been
can run
doing.
it on his iPhone.
Yeah.
It's just an app, he just takes a card, he can send him an email receipt, it's done. It's so easy.
The permit thing we're doing is just an application permit for a permit, not an actual permit.
Right, yeah, it's application
So
fee,
we're
right,
redoing all that to match Jackson.
okay,
So anything that we're getting, I'm looking at maybe emailing that up to Kelly and she can use that as a copy to come off. Go over to somebody, say, here's your permit, this is your fee, write out a receipt, they're gone.
they can mail it in then,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, really easy.
Nimishillen's getting
We're
up
trying to
to
figure it out,
20th
it's a
century.
process.
Right.
Yeah, once we get figured out, we'll let you know.
Great.
Make everything real easy.
Okay,
So do you want-
and one more thing, while Jim is here, we filed that nuisance complaint for 9055 Columbus Road, Louisville, parcel 33-02665. And Jim asked us to grant authority for him to go ahead and advertise this complaint, correct?
And handle the written notice, correct?
And handle the written notice.
Yes.
So I would like to make that motion as stated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second voting?
Jennifer,
Yes,
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
You got that too.
thank you, Jim.
You got a copy of that, right, Todd?
We can
Yes,
sign
you
it.
can.
Okay.
And
No, we don't need to sign it, I don't think, do we?
No, and as you know, you've already declared it
Oh,
a
okay,
nuisance.
okay.
You already have the determination from the Board of Health
Right.
that it's unfit for human habitation, so you've met all the statutory prerequisites. We took the title report that your zoning official obtained, went ahead and prepared the, excuse me, spreadsheet or database for mailing to all the lien holders. We also are aware, of course, that the actual record owner is deceased. So that'll be covered by our publication, covering any interests of any heirs that are out there. We'll see if you get back any requests for hearing. You can that's in the new law, as you may recall. And so we have the notice form prepared there for the hearing that I included in your copy. If, now that particular form, for whatever reason under the statute, has to be returned to the fiscal officer. So it's one more thing imposed on the fiscal officer. But if Todd receives any requests, then, you know, you can let our office know and then we'll schedule the hearing that's required. Otherwise, you let the 30-day period run and you can proceed with the abatement.
My final question is that the email that I sent you, there are contents inside this building.
Yeah,
What?
I included the demolition, which is removal,
Okay.
and debris.
Okay,
So anything that's in it is captured with the debris.
okay.
You can take it all down. I know that'll add to your costs on
That's
your
fine.
tipping fees and everything, but yeah, I figured you were gonna take the whole thing down.
Yeah. The other question I had, I actually got a call from a neighboring resident today, and she said that there are people going in. Do we have any, like, should that be boarded up, or if you look at the building, it looks like it's literally, if you pull something out, it looks like it's gonna fall down. I'm concerned about people, like children, cause I guess there's some little girls that have been riding their bikes around there.
They're
I'm
pulling
just
siding off,
terrified.
they've been pulling off the boom siding, and it's getting,
Wasn't the health department involved with that
They
too?
said no one allowed in, but it doesn't mean people aren't gonna go in.
No.
That's all. I mean, do we?
Unless they're physically prevented, right?
right,
Boards or
So, I mean,
something.
is that would be trespassing on our behalf if we had somebody go?
No, you actually have emergency authority to do the securing of the building if you want to do that.
Okay,
And I mean, if you wanted to go ahead, you could. And that's a cost that you could also recover, you know, on the tax duplicate to the extent you'll ever get that back.
right, I think all of a sudden becomes your safe, as soon as you start safeguarding it.
Your responsibility.
Yeah, I did a big sale once for Key Bank, and they safeguarded this property for like 4 years.
okay.
At a tune of $150,000 a year, I mean, you know what I'm saying, so all of a
Okay.
sudden,
You own
this
it.
thing drags on for 12 months, and here we are paying for fencing and securing it.
Okay,
Right now, it's not, we've done what
I
we
got
can do, but that's just my thought.
Oh, no,
I agree.
once we do that, we own it.
I didn't, I
Kinda,
was just more concerned about the safety.
That's reasonable. Yeah, you can do it, but maybe here it's not a good thing to do.
yeah.
Okay, and it's not gonna take 12 months, right? It's gonna
Oh,
take
no.
30, 60 days?
You'll let the 30-day period run, and again, if there's no hearing, then you're free to put it out to bid.
Okay.
Now, I think, your zoning inspector has already been in contact, or somebody with regional planning.
Is that right, Jeff?
Somebody has the 50% reimbursement still.
Land
Oh,
bank.
yes, land
Is
bank.
it the land bank
Yes.
component? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what Lexington has been using.
That's what we did once.
So and I don't recall the specific procedure, but I think you have to give them a copy of your resolution declaring it a nuisance. The stuff that I'm gonna do tomorrow will give you copies that you can provide to them too. And then I believe, once you put it out to bid, before you contract, you have to let them know that too. It's just some procedural things they want for their file,
Yeah.
and then once you make the payment, they reimburse you for that.
Are you spearheading this one, or is he spearheading this?
Usually those two do the land bank, I do the legal, to get it where we can get the agreement.
And
She's pointing at you.
Jeff does the land bank till he quit answering his emails, and I get jumped in.
He
I
goes
gotta
in
call
and,
people.
he just he sends the same stuff Jeff sends, but for some reason
I just
they
turned
want it
some
from
words
Don.
around or
I
something,
know.
I charmed that lady or something, I don't know.
That's a good signature. Yeah, we have to have the bids before we go in on land bank.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's,
Right, they definitely.
But
want to
this
see your
is
bid
a
before.
speedy process, I like it,
Yeah,
cause that is a hazard out there, there's no doubt about
let's
it.
pay this guy a bid too.
Could we have the sheriff department put, caution tape around the police line, please don't cross kind of thing, or no?
You could if they'd be willing to. Yeah, that might keep some people out, but
I think
also they might just tear it. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, right.
People are so unpredictable.
We'll just keep it on the track.
it's
going.
family,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
good.
think.
I think so too, George,
Well, Diane in my office will take care of getting the certified mail out.
Okay,
Now, the newspaper that you use for publication is what, Todd?
Louisville Herald.
The Herald? Okay. Then that's what we'll use for the ad.
Okay. All right, great.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
thank you, Jim, appreciate everything.
I make a resolution to enter into executive session from the special meeting is off. Oh, we have public speaks, right? I'm sorry.
The most do these ones, so we can go over that before.
Yeah. Let's do concerns of the citizens. Anybody want to speak? No. Mrs. Moody? Okay, thanks for coming.
Don't have enough things to think about myself. Not even ask questions on them.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and hit that, proceed with the setup of a square account? We kind of talked about
Yes,
that.
we can at least, I can get I just need the
We
routing
gotta wait
number.
for his,
Do we, or can we proceed with the setup?
You can go ahead with it. Just before you use it, you'll
Okay.
need that policy.
we gotta have the policy in place.
Okay.
So Jen, you want to make that resolution?
Sure, okay, I motion to approve a resolution to proceed with the setup of Square account to accept credit and debit card payments for zoning permits.
Second?
Motion a second, voting?
Jennifer,
Yes?
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Okay, and then resolution to proceed with the application process to obtain a credit card from Huntington Bank for each department, credit card usage policy to follow from legal counsel.
Second?
Motion a second, voting?
Jennifer,
Yes?
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to enter into an executive session for the special meeting as authorized under Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1, personnel matters to consider appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee at 7:33 PM.
Second?
I have a motion to second, voting?
Jennifer,
Yes?
George,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll be back out, you guys can go. You can go.